Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for coming out on this beautiful day in downtown Fort Wayne. The reason we asked you to come out today is we're very, very happy to announce that through the work of my staff, particularly the firefighter staff and those individuals who work with them on trying to get access to revenue, we were able to secure a federal grant in the amount of $1.5 million. And that grant is going to enable us to hire 15 additional firefighters for our fire department. 10 of those officers will be paid for through that grant. That grant is a 2-year grant. The other 5 firefighters will be budgeted through our 2016 budget. But the whole idea is to respond to the needs and the wants and the desires of our citizens. They consistently ask to make sure that we provide them with a safe community, both from the police department as well as the fire department. So that's exactly what we're doing. We recently had a police department graduation class. Now we're going to add on more firefighters to be the best that we can be for our citizens. So we're very happy to announce the SAFER grant, which came about as a result of the work of Deb Maroney, who's with us today. She's the grantsmanship person for the fire department and the public safety division. She was able to put that grant application together, and the federal government did accept it. So I'd like to get into some more specifics at this time by inviting Fire Chief Eric Lahey to come up and say a few words. Chief?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Before I get into too many specifics, there's a couple people I want to thank, because a $1.4 million grant for the Fort Wayne Fire Department is a pretty significant accomplishment, something we've never been able to do. So I want to start off by thanking Assistant Chief Paul Veldman, Captain Elbert Starks, for their input in the narrative process, Angela Erpelding, who provided our fiscal justification for the grant, and then an administrative assistant, Tina Fraley Long, as well as Deb Maroney, our grant writer, who helped us put it all together and were an integral part in making sure that we received this award. I'd also like to thank our Public Safety Director, Rusty York, and Mayor Henry for their support in committing to 357 firefighters for the next 10 years. So that's basically what the grant means with those additional 10, that we will maintain a level of 357 firefighters for the next 2 years. Without their support, this wouldn't even be possible. And then finally, I'd just like to thank the citizens of Fort Wayne. No matter what the obstacle is or what financial situation we find ourselves in, they always find a way to support public safety, and we couldn't do it without them. At this point, I'd like to introduce Rusty York.
Thanks, Chief. Just very briefly, I just wanted to thank the mayor for his continued support of public safety. You know, in these times of lower revenues due to property tax caps and circuit breakers, it makes it more and more difficult to provide robust public safety delivery to the citizens of Fort Wayne. But under Mayor Henry's leadership, not only have we been able to put on additional firefighters, police officers, but apparatus. You know, in the past year and a half, we've been able to purchase 2 new ladder trucks. We're going to take delivery of 2 engines here very shortly, and another 2 on the way. So, Mayor, thank you so much for your commitment to public safety in the city of Fort Wayne. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rusty. At this point, I think we've given you a pretty good briefing of what's about to take place. Are there any questions from you at this moment? Or if not, certainly will be available for individual interviews. Are there any questions from the floor?
Describe the grant is temporary. This basically
Correct.
gives you a head start.
That's correct.
Describe that process.
That's correct. This grant is a $1.4 or $1.5 million grant. Essentially, it's broken into 2-year phase. And what they're allowing us to do is to hire 10 more police officers, firefighters, pay for them for 2 years. And at the end of that 2-year period, we should be in a position financially to continue utilizing those firefighters. You know, we've got several other things that we're going to be doing as far as growing the city over the next few years. So obviously, those firefighters are going to be in great need in our community. And as I mentioned, the additional 5 firefighters will be brought up along as a part of our 2016 budget anyway.
The terminology that you use, I'm assuming it's not a matching grant.
Not initially. It is a full grant to hire those 10 firefighters for a period of 2 years.
How does that work? Do they just give you the money and trust you to put it somewhere? guidelines on how you spend it?
Well, there's a lot of specific protocols and policies that we have to abide by since it is a federal grant. And again, as the chief mentioned, we've never got this before. This is the first time that we or anybody that I know of has ever received this grant. And again, thanks to all the people that the chief mentioned. It was really a combined effort by the entire team to try to get this accomplished, and they were successful. So really, this is a tremendous moment in the city of Fort Wayne, never having received this before, and not only to get a few dollars, but roughly $1.5 million to hire 10 more members of the Public Safety Division. That's a tremendous statement for our city.
Does the cost of 10 firefighters over 2 years add up exactly to what?
Within that amount of money, roughly, correct. But again, we're going to be hiring 5 more officers on top of that. So we're talking 15 more firefighters initially, and then we'll continue that funding process as the years go on. But to be able to reach our full complement of firefighters, which I've committed to, I think really makes a powerful statement for our city that we believe in the value of public safety. Our citizens have asked for it, and we've listened. We've made a promise that we would take care of that, and we have. I'm going to ask the chief about that. How many retirements coming up?
Well, we usually anticipate somewhere between the neighborhood of 5 to 6 retirements per year. And we have a program through the state pension that allows us to project those out, the drop program.
What is it like staffing now? I mean, it's not just a basic problem of having enough people for the jobs, but those people eventually get vacations and sick time, and sometimes it's having enough people to fill in the holes too, yes?
Yes, yeah. You know, it's always a constant struggle for the fire department because we operate under minimum manning, which means we try and put 4 people on every apparatus every day. And this is what these 10 firefighters, these 15 firefighters are going to help ensure that we get 4 firefighters on every apparatus every single day, all day long. And that's our ultimate goal.
So will this also impact overtime that you're currently paying out?
Well, we hope that it actually offset overtime that we're currently paying out. Regardless of these 15 firefighters, we're still bound by that minimum manning. So putting 15 more firefighters on will help offset some of those overtime costs.
Okay, very good. Thank you. At this time, if you want to talk to Rusty or to the chief individually or myself, feel free to do so. Thank you again so much for coming today.